And we're back. Hello. Good. We had to make sure that works, just to be on the safe side. We're back. Continuing to work on our stuff. Let's see if we can turn is the volume up all the way? There we go. Our volume's up. Now we can really hear ourselves. That's good. But anyway, basically we're back on this. This is what's called. Yeah, we found this driver plugin did work when it was full screen. So if I configure Let's show you off again. I have full screen checked, so I'm gonna keep full screen checked. So in some plugins will work just fine. I'm hoping there's a plugin that'll work just fine without a full screen because I think without not being full screen can help make it work better. But we'll see. We're gonna try it again. We're gonna show off what it can do. The last file, and we're gonna try to make a few more parts from this if it goes that long because we want to make sure they're short enough to be loaded within a reasonable amount of time. The one I put out was over a gigabyte. So now that thing's gonna load for about nearly 30 minutes. We don't want that happening again. So let's see here. Run ISO. Star Ocean. We'll get to Saga Tier 2 eventually, but right now it's Star Ocean Second Story. That's our next one. No Trigger was awesome, but still, on Star Ocean. Yeah, we'll do Star Ocean. We'll finish Rena's Quest, and then we'll go to Chrono Trigger or something like that. So, see, it's looking like it's going at a normal speed. Oh, shoot. Forgot about how loud this is. Oh, no. Oh, well. See, it's looking pretty good at full screen. But yeah, everything's going at normal speed. Now, see, this is why it's awesome, because this is not the whole galaxy will be destroyed. The whole universe will be destroyed in 5 seconds. Thank you. Okay, so it did work. Unfortunately, we're a bit loud, so we gotta turn that down a bit. So I'll turn that down a bit. There we go. We're at halfway. There we go. We're just about halfway. And so it worked. See, no. I gotta do it again. Alright, so it worked. Right, that one is definitely possible. I wrote it down as possible. So let's continue. We have a few more to look at. So I was thinking maybe we could just leave it here. Well, no. I want to see if there's an even better one. All right. So let's go. Config video, whatever. Can someone tell me what that means in the comments? That'd be really nice. E whatever is a soft driver 0.98. It looks good. This one here, another E.19 soft 8. Okay. So let's see how it works. Run ISO. We're gonna be careful. Hopefully, won't get another one of those ones that you can't stop without resetting the whole computer. So let's go. Open. Okay. Kind of taking its time a little bit. Uh huh. Okay. It seems you're doing okay too. Not bad. Yeah, it's basically yes. The bad guys of the story are trying to do some cool stuff, some crazy stuff where they basically put a meteor into a planet, meteor machine into a planet to move it out of orbit. Man, that's cool. For those old graphics, it still looks good because it's an awesome story. And mess around and move it out of orbit so it knocks the prison planet they're on out of orbit so they can escape, and then that can cause harm to the galaxy. That works. Thank you. All right, so that'll be a plausible. Yeah. No. Well, yeah, we'll say that too. Continue. X out. We'll write it down later, I think, or we'll write it down in a second. Okay, we're gonna let this go for about 10-15 minutes each. So yeah, so it'll work better. Video. Whatever. Soft driver. Number 2. E bracket I brackets soft driver KX K6, not KX. Learning how to say, do technobubble properly. Working at the computer place, so it's cool. P1MMX 0.98. All right. Next one. we're gonna go through these because we want to go through them. We're about halfway through. This is go good. The GPU, whatever you saw, GPU, no color key. Okay. Run ISO. Let's see if Saga Frontier works. Let's see if Saga Frontier works. It could. Let's try something different. Saga Frontier 2, go. Basically, a test, you use the same thing over and over again, so there's no variables like that. But I'm going to do a little something different here, just to see. Okay, it is working. It is working. Saga Frontier 2 was interesting. Because it was interesting in a lot of ways. I really wish they had done something better for it. Saga Frontier 2 had some really good story, two really good stories. And unlike, say, Saga Frontier 1, which had like 7 or 8 pretty good stories. Thank you. Had a few, 7 or 8 good ones, okay? Main issue with Saga Frontier 1, well, Sonic Frontier 1 was that it was definitely a lot to take in. Which makes sense that it would be a lot. So yeah, people would definitely be like, yeah, that's a lot. There are a lot of different characters hanging out doing stuff. Maybe that's too many. So that's one reason why they lowered it to pared it down to like only 2 people. Basically 2 stories, and that's kind of okay. That's kind of okay in some ways, but kind of annoying in others because I really liked all these characters, a lot of these characters. Yeah. Basically, you had like the main hero of the story. One of the guys, I think it was Blue. Blue was one of 2 twin brother mages. Okay, and basically when you get twins like that in their culture, they're both mages. You got one that does light side stuff, one that does dark side stuff, and they have to fight each other or something like that, so that they basically whoever wins is the stronger one and will have both powers. And that's could be an interesting story about how we don't like that kind of stuff. That could be like one of those things where it's like, well, who cares? I don't want to do that. Like on Blessed what was it? Bossera. What's Bossera? I don't know. Not Holic. No. Maybe the same people perhaps. With Mokina and that ninja dude. That crazy awesome tough awesome ninja dude and that you know good, effeminate looking dude that was a vampire a little while, who lost 9, became a vampire for a little while, then got his whole body destroyed except for enough. But the ninja dude saved enough of his body so that he could be grown up again and have everything back the way it was. Yeah, and you got that one kid with the who had one eye who was like really awesome with his became really awesome with the sword, and had that girl, the princess. It was an interesting little story. And Mokina had a little rabbit thing that helped him go through different dimensions and whatnot. It was pretty cool. I forgot what it was called. Subaka. It was Subasa. Was that Subasa? I don't know, but whatever. This one, yeah, but still, this story, yeah, Star Ocean. What was it? Not Star Ocean. 3 is E bracket I bracket S Salty View. Salty View. No COLORK 0.9.9H. Anyway, whatever it was still good. Sponsor, I think it was sponsored. Anyway, it was still good. Fast 3D renderer. D3D renderer. Okay. File. Run ISO. We're going to do it. Stick with Star Ocean because we do know Star Ocean works, but we're going to stick with Star Ocean. So we're going to. Okay, fine. Go away. So it failed. Cancel. Thank you. Next one. I think those are the best ones we got, but we're going to find out. We're going to go through them all. We're going to go through them all because we want to go through them all. So, yeah, let's continue. Foxfire Open GL Renderer. Go. File. Anyway, so it was interesting. How the stories in Saga Frontier 2, there was just basically you had basically two people. Will Knights, who was awesome, and his family, who were amazing, and Prince Gustav, who could be even better, than, in my opinion, than Will Knights. Ah, ugh. Mm. Too fast, too choppy. Thank you. That one does not work for this. Too fast. Yeah, it was weird. So it was like, yeah, it was not my favorite. Okay, I get that out of here. All right, it was not my favorite because basically just both were really good. Both had really good potential, but Will Knight seems to be a little bit better because basically what happened with Gustav's was you had a guy who was like this. It was one of the coolest things I ever saw. Of course, yeah, you see that in a lot of RPGs a lot. You have a person who's basically not who doesn't no one thinks will be able to do who's not up to snuff. Whatever, who basically is not up to snuff. So you're like, oh well, this guy's just an outcast or whatever, and he has no powers because yeah, in that world it's like the reverse of Star Wars. But basically, certain special people have Jedi powers, have the Force. In this world, everyone has the Force, basically. If you don't have the Force, you're an outcast. You basically are not as good as anyone else because you don't got the Force. So it's like the Kazuya opener. Okay. Kazuya opener. Okay. So it's like, what the heck? So he's basically him and his mother, who was queen. But she's like, here they go with the dad being the awesome upstanding dude he is. So it's like, you know what? This girl gave me a kid who doesn't have the Force. So forget her. Forget them both. Bye. Yeah, yeah. Not like we've been through anything together or anything. Just yeah, see ya. Have a nice life. I'm like, yeah, really classy move, jerk. Classy move. Okay. What? Yeah. Yeah. Super fast. This is the super fast one. Yep. That's the super fast one. We're back to the super fast one. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so you're getting close to being done here. But so I was like, yeah, we already said it. So it was eventually got to the point where it's like, you know what, forget this. I'm going to mess around and do my stuff. Yeah, I'll stop at 12:10. Let's say. So that'll be probably about 15 minutes right here. And I'll do another one until we get to the end. So let's go. Then we'll work on some Muga stuff, and it'll be a lot. Won't be nearly as boring. At least, unless you don't think it's boring. That'll be cool if it wasn't. If you thought this was amazing and fun, then that's great because that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah. All right, show off. If you think it's boring, that's I can understand why because it's definitely a lot of different things going on. I don't think Kazuya stuff will work, but we don't know until we try it. So let's go. Anyway, the stuff. Yeah. So basically, they banished, sent off to some village as just plain regular people, and things are going well until somebody attacks. Some bad guys with the Force attack the island, attack the place where the village they are, with the help of some people. It's going a bit fast though. I can tell you that. Let's see how it sounds. It's not bad. But anyway, they attack the island, and because of young Gustav, he's not able to use the Force, but for some reason that makes him resistant to the Force. Okay, so that works out just fine. That looks like it worked. It's kind of choppy, but it worked. So that's plausible. Huh. So it was interesting because he was like resistant to the Force. So basically, or the magic or whatever they were using. So that was kind of an interesting idea. I've never really explored though, but it was very interesting. Then you have after that, he grows up, becomes an awesome sword fighter because that's basically all he can do. He takes over his kingdom again, puts his brother, who can use the Force, in place, and it's like, okay, no problem. Now that's cool because he's like, some losers messing around and took over the throne or whatever, you know. So he had to depose them, get them out of there, and put somebody else in place. And I was like, okay, that's nice, that's cool because he's saving his kingdom, getting the kingdom back in the family or whatever. So everything's going well, but there's these people called anima followers, or basically force followers. Let's say the anima, but it's basically the magic user, people that are so interested in the force, in magic or whatever, that they are willing to do crazy things to try and get to become stronger in the force, basically. And one of the things that they do is because Gustav, I think it's one of the things they do because there's like Gustav does not have the force. Is they attack his brother's son during his brother's ceremony to find out if he has the force or not. And it's like, they basically, he hold up the sword. There's like a sword, a fire sword, that it will only activate if you have the power to activate it. If you don't got that power, then you don't got the force, then that's not going to work as a ruler of the kingdom. So basically, it's like his son holds it up. He says it basically says, "I got the power." K Z A Z Z U Y A software driver 1.8. Yep. And so it's like, he's like, yeah, you did it. He'll be king next after after his father. This is great. And basically, some loser comes up, stabs this kid. Oh, he was like, well, the animal followers will, death to all tyrants or something like that. Like, stabs the kid. And then his dad, then the kid's dad, Gustav's brother, seeing that his son's been mortally wounded, it grabs the sword from his son, basically slashes this dude. And basically, the problem with the sword is it's a magic sword that you got to be careful about how you use it, or it will mess you up. Because basically so basically he grabs it, it catches on fire a lot because he's a grown up, so it's even more powerful. His power is more powerful than his kid. So he grabs it, the sword catches on fire. He slashes this dude, and the dude basically melts because of course it gets hit by a freaking fire sword. And that's the end of him. And then everybody's like, "Oh shoot, run away!" And like, "Oh shoot, no, that was a mistake on your part, But then the dude gets turned into a dragon because, of course, that sword is magical, and it's like. And he grabs his son and flies away. And I'm like, this could be a good plot point. I look forward to seeing how that's gonna play out, man. That'd be cool if it's like he tries to keep his son alive with like some sort of magical crystal, crazy powers or something like that, and the son stays alive because of that. And he's like a weird monster, sort of little kid monster kind of thing, and or you can play as him, or see he's in your party. That'd be cool. All kinds of crazy stuff could happen. And have the dragon dude in your party would be so great. Unfortunately, that never happens. Unfortunately, because basically what happens is you don't see that guy. You don't see him again. You don't see the son again. The Gustav's brother, you don't see him again until there's a point where there's like a bunch of monsters attacking Gustav and his followers. And a dragon, very familiar looking dragon, comes along and kills those monsters and then flies away. And I'm like, that's his brother. Oh my gosh, he still remembers. This is great. Come back. And you never see him again. I'm like, what? Bullcrap. Yeah, this could be so great, They decided to end it where basically Gustav dies, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because why would Gustav die if he's the hero? Who's going to be out left to basically take up the mantle of hero? No one, really. There's going to be some other guys, but they're going to die too. Sargon, he was a cool guy that worked with Gustav, and he becomes leader eventually. But then he, but then he, then there's like this fake Gustav. I don't know where the heck that guy came from. Fake Gustav comes up. See how this thing works. Fake Gustav comes up and messes around. It causes problems. Great. Okay, that wouldn't work. Fake Gustav comes up. Says, Saga, I'm Gustav. Let's work. It's like, yeah. And then he's like, what? Well, okay. He's the mind messed, he's his mind messed with. So he'll work with this fake Gustav, and eventually becomes a giant monster. You have to fight it 4 nights later. And it was like, there was a lot of problems with that. Where it basically was like, you grind up levels as certain characters, then they're killed, and you have to start over again. I hated that. Okay, but there was an issue. Will Knight, to me, though a normal person who had the Force, and basically what's going on was, to me, the superior, in my opinion, overall the superior story because he's the main character. Because this guy's basically hanging out for most of the game. You eventually go to his son and will play as his son. Will Knight's eventually retires. You play as the son for a while. He has a daughter with this awesome girl. Well, there's one girl. Then he dies, but trying to stop the fake Gustav monster. Because there's like a fake Gustav, the egg-shaped stone. There's this evil egg-shaped stone that's pretending to be Gustav for some reason. And okay, legacy. Okay, try this thing. And so he's like, hey, this fake Gustav monster is like, hey, or Evil Stone is like, hey, let's fight. Will Knight, take, takes controls of, of this one cute, on this one girl, hot lady, this cute girl, this other cute girl, um, and she's like, yeah, as Gustav, like, as the fake, as a fake Gustav, or the egg-shaped stone, the dark side of the force, or something like that. Basically, he's like, yeah, I will fight you. Now we can become one because you're awesome. You got the force. You're totally great. Let's become one here. And she's like, he's like, no, I'll die before I let you, take control of my body. So he like grabs her. And dives in, basically not all, and they fly out, both go off this cliff, and you see him go like, oh my goodness, my poor daughter. I wish I'm sorry I had to do this, but to save the world, they fall and it looks like they died. So it's like, okay. And then you play as his daughter, as Will Knight as her daughter, and Will Knight as an old man comes back to fight alongside her. You have a few other guys taking out too. That was awesome, and he's still at the levels you had him at. So I'm like, see, that's what you need in an RPG. You need continuity. You need someone who will basically, you get a character. Who cares? You get a character who. Oh yeah, wait, okay, cancel. Wait, we'll switch over to the other one. Nikki's. All right, and we'll say, see you guys next. You need a character, next time. You need a character who could basically you can level up from the beginning of the game to the end, because that's how the cool stuff works. Because then you basically can be like, okay, I've worked hard and long with this character, and now I'm at the point where I can actually fight. It's time to fight the boss. We've been going through this. Especially if you have a good one where the boss is just out of reach or whatever. Throughout the thing, or you get defeated, and it's like, all right, now I'm strong enough. Let's get this guy. That's cool. Well, that to me was a huge issue with Saga Frontier 2. They didn't have that. You can get people, level them up, you'd lose them. And then you have new people you have to level up, and you lose them. And I just kept on going until the end. Especially Gustav's quest, where you had to fight Blessed as David and his friends, whoever the heck they are, and you basically can lose through or win through luck, because the fake Gustav soldiers are more powerful than your guys, and yet there's a thing where if you do things, I thought I did things as best I could. You have to use special attacks because metal, magic doesn't work on metal or something. So you can't use a magical attack on these guys; it won't hurt them. So I used this one called Lawnmower, which is not magical. It's basically cuts things. It's supposed to be cutting something that messes with plants or something. And I used that on this enemies, and I think I just defeated one. And there were two more there, but it's like, oh yeah, the bad guy failed to retreat. You win. Yeah, that's the thing that has happened to me several times before. My guys, for random purposes, failed to retreat. They died. So it was based on luck, and it was like that. All that together just made me not like that game so much. But we're gonna see if that was just a fluke eventually. Right now, though, it's time for me to say, see you next time on the next episode of Herowebcomics. Talking about stuff, talking about stuff. Check me out on YouTube, especially my Hero Force. No, what's it? Superman Doomsday stuff. Gotta make more pictures of that, and my Star vs. Force Evil stuff on DeviantArt on YouTube. Star Wars Until the End Time. Star Wars Like a Story. We'll get reading this quest eventually. And Secret of Mana. We're doing Secret of Mana right now. It's gonna be awesome, and it's being awesome. I'm loving that. See you next time.